Welcome back to Trials Talk. It is day 9 of the U.S. Olympic Trials. Khrushchev is here with Mitch Dyer, Eric Jenkins, Karen Lesowitz. And if I look a little disheveled, it's not because it's day 9 of the Olympic Trials. It's because the women's 10K was on the track today. And the people who've been reading the Lap Count newsletter, following along on Twitter, know that this was my election night, essentially. And at the moment, it feels like I am key race alert calling Paris for Weini Kelati, Parker Valby, and Karissa Schweizer. It was an epic race, I would say.
Yeah.
Slow at the beginning, but that makes for better dramatics with this one because we needed, that top 3. Weini was the only one who was, certain that she had a spot for Paris if things held up. But Karissa Schweizer and Parker Valby needed to run, I believe, under 31:50 to assure their spots for Paris, and they got it just by the skin of their teeth, and some crucial rankings points there on the line, even with that second and third place finish. So
they got it, so they're in.
Well, Chris is calling it in. Yeah.
How confident are you? Like, what's the percentage here?
I'm double checking math right now.
I would say fairly confident. I'd say there's a very, very strong chance.
Yeah.
Because the way that the points worked in the end, that Parker was right on the edge. So there's 27 that get picked for the women's 10K. Technically, she was 28th on math, so she was just outside. But if some athletes don't take their spot, she then moves inside the quota.
Yep.
And also, because she moved from 28, she knocked Ellie back one spot, which then allows her to be able to move into it and go to the Olympics.
And her getting second over Karissa was crucial to this, right?
Yeah,
So,
big
okay.
points.
So if she got third, would
It would have been a much tighter call, and I don't think she would have made it in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Literally, and it was by less than a second.
Oh, 5.553
Really?
and 0.557.
Do you think she
0.4
has
of a
any
second.
idea? Like, do you think she has any idea?
When I spoke to her in the mix zone, she leaned at the finish line for a reason, and it paid off. So we've seen, the lean at the finish cost some people, time in the past. But for Parker Valby, it put her on the Olympic team.
And an incredible kick from Parker. I mean, we did not see that Parker in the 5K. We saw Parker get a little gobbled up that last at least 800, and she had a kick. She was coming with a vengeance to kick down with Karissa Schweizer. That is astronomical, I think, for Parker and her confidence, especially going into Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah, much more mature race.
Okay, so for the people who are wondering, okay, that race wrapped up and it wasn't so clear cut, 1, 2, 3, and I don't think they did, a decent job explaining it on the broadcast because I was getting tweets instantly like, what does this all mean?
Yeah.
So let me walk you guys through this.
Please.
Hold my hand.
All right. Weini Kelati finishes first place. She is for sure going to the Olympics because she entered today as the only woman in the field with the Olympic standard and just won in 31:41:07. Didn't really need it to be that quick. She could have finished, probably way back in 5th and even made it onto the team. Weini took care of business, wins the national title, makes the team. Second place, Parker Valby finishes second in 31:41.553, which should be enough to boost her ranking to 1,213 points, which should be good enough to get her within the rankings quota to make it to the Olympic team. There was the performance, 31:41.56 gives her 1,155 points, and I think it's 50 for second place, not 80.
Okay.
Do that math.
Well,
Do the math.
I'm running off the math of Angus Math stats.
He might be thinking it's...
So it becomes an average. So it averages out.
Right.
So the average becomes that 12.28. So the math is right. It's the same math.
At the moment, I'm sticking with my 12:13 for Parker Valby. All right, so Parker is in the 10K quota. She's on the team.
Wow.
Karissa Schweizer runs 31:41.557, just barely, and should be able to boost her ranking to 12:09, the average, right behind Valby in the rankings. So she should be good as well. But that's if enough people ahead of
This is nuts.
Carissa's scratches.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
So, and it's dependent on these other national championships happening around the world in the next couple days, like tomorrow, I think.
Tomorrow is the last day.
So
Yep.
if there's a country out there that miraculously has a woman run 30, 40 or faster, I'm thinking Kazakhstan, but I don't think that they have like a national championship, and it's one woman who was here at the pre-classic. So as of right now, Karissa Schweizer is in the quota and should be good to go. I find it very hard to believe that someone would go and run 30-40
Unless
tomorrow.
the Kazakhstan trials is just nuts.
Unless
It's
it's
wild.
insane. Yeah, unless it's insane.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Chris is in a good spot because you have to, and this is where sort of like my weeks of poring over random 10K runners' Instagrams and results and World Athletics pages has come in handy, because if we look at who scratches due to injuries or for whatever reason, you have to eliminate people ahead of Karissa in the rankings quota to clear up spots for her. So you have Alicia Monson, who's out for the season due to injury, didn't contest this meet, remove her from the rankings quota.
Done.
Jess Warner-Judd ended her season, unfortunately came down with some sort of seizure at the European Championships. Really unfortunate for her because she was in the rankings quota. So that's another person gone.
Gone.
Sarah Lottie underwent hamstring surgery.
Gone.
Out.
See ya.
Samantha Harrison,
Sorry.
who's from Team GB, probably won't get selected because Team GB has like some pretty strict 10K qualifications. So she's out.
Out.
Verlie Baker, she's Dutch, might not get named to the Dutch team because she has not hit the national standard for the Dutch national team, so
Gone.
She's out. And I think like we only needed 5, but then I'm also adding in like Eilish McColgan from Team GB, dropped out of the European Championships, hasn't really shown any sort of form, so you could
Done.
also pluck her out of it too. Long story short, this won't be finalized until the world rankings and the national championships are all tabulated by July 7th. But I believe it is my strong inclination that these top 3 that finished here today will be the U.S. Olympic team for the 10K in Paris. Now,
I'm like,
I'm not
geez,
done.
That was just the intro.
How-
That was
How
the preamble.
can you not be
I'm
done?
not
That
done
was the
yet.
preamble.
No.
Because we have the women's 1500 tomorrow, and
Oh.
it could add another wrinkle to all of this.
How many?
A
Lot of wrinkles.
lot of wrinkles.
Lot of damn
So,
wrinkles.
What could happen here
We need
now?
Botox.
Yeah.
Whoa,
getting
whoa, whoa.
outrageous.
We don't all need it because some of us have it. Anyway.
All right. So let's play a game.
Okay.
In the 1500 tomorrow, if Ellie St. Pierre or Elise Cranny finishes in the top 3 and makes the 1500 meter team, they now have the option to possibly scratch the 5K. They may or may not. The double is possible in the schedule for the Paris Olympics. If one of their coaches says, all right, we're only running the 1500,
Yeah.
then Parker Valby moves into the third spot from that 5K because she finished 4th. Now, she would have the option there of whether or not she wants to run the 5K or the 10K or double. The 5K, 10K, another possible double at the Olympics. So Valby would run.
This is hell.
So if
Max
Valby
got
chooses,
whiplash.
if Valby chooses to only run the 5K because Elise or Ellie scratches, now this is an unnecessary rabbit hole that I decided to take us
There's
down.
so many names.
Then
I'm
Mac
having
is
a
shaking his
panic
head, but
attack.
I'm ignoring that
No,
here
I'm
because
here.
I
I'm
think there is
along.
there is
Yeah.
a chance. If Valby chooses to only run the 5K because of the scratches, then that means today Amanda Vestry, who finished 5th, might go to the Olympics in the 10K.
So much going on.
Because
man.
her performance today would probably move her into the quota,
Oh, my God.
but she's not ahead of Ellie Hennis. But she beat Ellie Hennis here today, and USATF would honor the finishing order of the Olympic trials.
This is so good.
Wow.
So
There's so much.
Amanda Vestry might get a chance to go to the Olympics, but that's dependent on Ellie Hennis and Elise Cranny.
Should work.
And like to think, it's like,
Great
oh, why
work.
isn't the sport
Yeah.
more popular? You great? I mean, Jesus Christ.
So
Wow.
that was another rabbit hole that maybe I get like I'm basically writing books at this point.
Really-
like, with
that
all my
was
tweets
impressive to get
and
a
how
front
long
row
they are.
And not
review.
fun like murder mysteries.
Yeah.
Like dense textbooks.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway, it was a good race. And
It was
I think
a
the
great
company-
race.
Incredible
Yeah.
race.
There was so many names.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of Amanda though,
Great
who you
race.
just said. Like, is she sleeping easy tonight? You know, like when will Amanda know? I mean, is it after?
Not for a while.
Not
Like
for-
she won't know
well-
for like.
She won't
Max just said
know.
no.
She won't know until maybe July 7th, essentially, because then like if I'm heard, you make her go through team processing here tomorrow just in case, because
That sucks.
yeah.
It's kind of a bummer to go through that and not make it in the end, if that's the case.
Hey, that's Lenny career essentially.
Yeah.
And the uncertainty that he had, except his was dragged on for months.
That was that universality spot, wasn't it?
Yeah, which
Yeah.
made me just realize I don't think there's universality spots in the 10K.
No,
So
I don't believe
it
so.
saves us the trouble.
I don't think
in this
so.
particular event. Now we could be wrong, but as of right now, I'm calling Paris for Weini, Parker, and Karissa.
Well, what do we think Parker's going to do? 5K or 10K?
Well, the 5K is not an
10.
option yet,
Yeah,
so definitely
10.
the 10.
okay.
I'm sure like her coach and her haven't even thought about this possible scenario yet because we have to wait and see how the 1500 shakes out. So I think like, as of right now, you just have to train for her to run the 10K.
That was easy to get confused with as well, by the
Yeah.
way. I was lost if
Because
she
I
made
took
the
you guys-
5 as well.
yeah.
That was a hell of a journey.
Yeah.
I've
But it goes to show when you guys talk about maybe we use the other system.
Yeah.
That's the other system.
Yeah, no.
It's a hell of a lot more confusing than just
Brutal.
going 1, 2, 3 and qualifying.
Yeah.
But like one of the coolest storylines that we touched on very briefly, if Parker didn't come second,
Don't.
she was no shot of making the team really. So it goes to show just how desperate they were to get to the line, and it made it so entertaining. Like I was sitting next to Chris, and like Chris was like a kid in Christmas. He's like, they're going too slow, and then he's like, hold on, now they kick. He needs 31:40, maybe 31:50, 31:30, maybe.
Yeah.
He's jumping everywhere. Crunch the numbers still. But God, it's very confusing.
Okay.
I hope she makes the team. I hope she's
Yeah.
on it. But
I got another wrinkle, guys. Got another wrinkle.
I'm begging you to not have any more wrinkles.
Okay, so here's another possible thing that could shake out.
All right.
No.
Katie Izzo, another character in this story,
This is like Game of Thrones. There's so
Yeah.
many characters. I'm like, I can't.
entered the day with the cross-country ranking
Right.
that qualified her for the Olympics. Now, I think it's up to World Athletics to determine whether or not that is, like, more acceptable, I think, than the ranking order, because Weini's for sure in. She's got the standard. And I think it's up to USATF. I think it's up to USATF whether they're going to take the people off of standard or Izzo already has the standard. So technically through cross country. So there's also that chance that like maybe they get overruled. Like World Athletics could overrule USATF.
I didn't know that could
I guess we
happen.
have to wait until July 7th, essentially. And
Yeah.
I'm looking at the results of this 10K, and Katie Izzo finished all the way back in 13th. So
Right, which is rough. And I want to say right next, behind her, Susanna Sullivan, admirable effort to go out there
Yeah.
and lead the first part of it. I think she definitely has that marathon strength. And so, she made it that fast race. I think right at the start, they were on pace to finish as they did. So admirable effort from her. And did Parker not look like a pro out there? I mean, I think we saw it obviously in the 5K, but the way she commanded in that race, I mean, she to me looked just like the pros. If she had a pro jersey on, which we want to see, Parker, we want to see what that looks like. I think we, for American distance running, have a lot to look forward to in the next few years.
yeah, she was clearly like rattled in the 5K, I think, and she admitted to it afterwards, like in her post-race interview. She was like, I was very nervous for that 5K, and she almost didn't commit to running this race until she said today. Like it just like it's a big thing. You have to. We talked about this with several of our guests on the show. Like you have to mentally really get yourself up for these races, and like that fourth place finish is probably a lot of heartbreak, and she doesn't really see herself as a 10K runner yet. Like there's only the fourth 10K of her career. I don't think this event is her strong suit yet. Like, I think it's going to take a while for her to really essentially become someone like Karissa Schweizer. We're still a ways away from, I think, mixing it up with the best in the world.
Yeah,
But Weini looked good.
Yeah, she looked really good. And it was great that she ran all the way through the line and wanted to win. And she said that in the mix zone. She was like, I really wanted to win. Like, it wasn't about just making the team. Every time I step on the track, I want to give a good effort. And it was significant to her that she won. To talk on Parker, like, I feel like as well, it has to be commended the fact that she was able to run a race that was controlled and measured and allow the strong women around her to be able to push it through. And when she saw her opportunity to push the pace and to push the tempo and get to the front, she committed. She was challenged. She sort of got herself in that little pack of three. She hung tough. Like, it would be easy for her to fracture, be easier for her to let those two women go. But I think she showed a lot of maturity and grit and determination, and the fact that she was able to hold on, and now hopefully with all the maths and all the qualifications and everything that goes into this, because it is, like, Chris has done a great job of actually explaining that because it's so confusing. If she's got herself on an Olympic team by doing that, she showed a lot in that 10K. And it's a hard jump from the 5 to the 10, particularly after the disappointment of the 5, right?
I mean, this was just a fantastic race on all fronts. The sprint finish, but this was probably, in my opinion, like the best race Parker's run. I think this was just so much of a better strategy and game plan as opposed to just leading it from the gun. For a while, I was like, okay, like Parker's she's really sitting back. You've never seen her not take the lead at much earlier in the race. I think she hit the front. What was it? About 5 laps to go.
Somewhere in there.
And then there was a gap that developed, and then it's like, let's say there's the team right there.
Yeah.
And we saw in the 5K that when she got past, she kind of got broken. But today it was like she got past and then she was able to kick.
Yeah.
And with coming down that last 100, you were like, man, it could be. Seemed like, okay, wow, like she can maybe get it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fantastic race obviously Weini Kelati looked amazing. Karissa Schweizer had a fantastic trials and already made it in the 5, but this was, I think, Parker's best race. And she looked really good.
To go on Chris's point, do you think she's more of a 10K runner than a 5K runner after watching? I mean, it's a small sample size, I understand that, but like, to your point, the way that she ran it looked a lot more confident and a lot more comfortable in a lot of ways.
Yeah, if we're going to base it off, like, let's just base it off, the 5K and the 10K at this trials, you would say, yeah, she's definitely more of a 10K runner. But also, I think she probably learned a lot from that 5K and realized, okay, like, it's tough. I don't want to just go out there, be the pacemaker, run a really hard race, and run the kick out of my legs. I don't want to go out there and put in 25 laps of really hard work to have Karissa and Weini and maybe other people just kick by me. Yeah. And I thought that her game plan was a whole lot better, a lot smarter, and something you would hope to see in the future. Going off just this past week, yeah, I think she looks better in the 10 than she does the 5, but also I think that is all a bit because I think the 5 is just deeper right now for the American women. I think the 5 was just stronger.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd be interested to know what their last 400 was, because I think I remember to get under 31:40, she needed a 66. So I'm in my head thinking she's clipped a 67. That is wow. That is a big last lap at the end of a hard 10K like that. So hats off to her. It was an incredible race.
Other just kudos I would quickly want to give is Jess McLean.
I was
Fourth place
say.
finish again.
Yeah.
Wow. Marathon trials, and then to come back to the track after a long layoff in her respective career, like, that was encouraging for
She's
her.
had an incredible year. I mean, because the 4th place at the marathon was huge. So then to also come back and be able to do the same thing, it's, we all talk about, like, oh, it sucks to come in 4th. And it does in a lot of ways, but at the same time, she's just run incredible races, and I think it's a fantastic. Cause she took a lot of time off,
this
right?
Year was her first time on the track since like 2000 and 18.
She
I
did
think.
speak
Yeah.
about that. She's
So I mean,
Yeah.
that's amazing. And she's had an incredible year, and she's got nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, I mean, what we've seen from a lot of these marathon ladies like Susanna Sullivan and Kira D'Amato, it doesn't always translate to the track, you know? It doesn't always go reverse like that. And to see someone, you know, I think bounce back and have some speed on the track, that's incredibly, I think, you know, just inspiring to maybe some ladies who want to dabble in both. For someone like her and her story, I think she ran an incredible race. You can't be sad with fourth.
No.
Yeah. I feel like Adrian Wojnarowski on like draft night or Adam Schefter, because it's like I keep checking my phone just to make sure that I like someone doesn't check my math or correct like so that's why like
They
I keep
gotta
looking
get
at
the
my-
standard.
Yeah.
Right.
You got like
You think?
this is- well, I'm
Well,
just, like,
here's the bad news for
well, I
people.
just mean because this is annoying.
Well, okay, and guess what? There's going to be more next year, Eric, because the standard's only going to get harder for Tokyo. And as of right now, I think the only
can't do this.
the only
It's
woman
hard.
I
the only
can't do
woman
this
right
shit.
now
Yeah.
for the United States that's going to have the standard for Tokyo 2025 is Weini Kelati.
Yeah.
Weini Kelati is sitting pretty for Tokyo next year. The solution to all of this, and I kind of said this to and wrote about it in the Lap Count newsletter, is like we should have taken a page from like the Japanese, who like they scheduled their national championships in December of last year and in May of this year. Why? Because you just capitalize on two big national championship opportunities in that rankings window for this particular year. Now, does this kind of screw them over for Tokyo next year? I don't think so, because the
No.
ranking window is so far out that like that's the way to do it. The 10 serves an amazing purpose here in the United States, where people are going to change the standard in March. There's no, and I guess like the night of the 10K PBs is another sort of like last ditch attempt in May. But I think after the cross country season, there's a massive, void. Instead of rushing to go to BU, which like that's always nice, like there should be an organized 10K attempt every December in the United States where there is good weather for people to maximize on the opportunities to chase the standard both in December, and then if they don't get it there, they get it in March at the 10, and if they don't get it there, then they get an opportunity in May at another race.
I know of a great 10K in December.
I know.
Run in beautiful conditions
I
every
know.
year, and some athletes cash in on this. It's in Melbourne. It's at our national championships. Internationals come down quite frequently to do just that. They kick off their year with this. You were telling me the other day, you've been invited to come down and run it when you were running.
Yeah.
A lot of Americans capitalize on it. Sometimes the Japanese athletes come in and capitalize on it. It's always fast. It's like, for men, it's like 27 probably high to 28 low, and sometimes 27 mid. Women run fast too. But I guess maybe next year it may look a little bit different, because there's not, like, Americans probably, well, I can't speak on the American circuit, but if I'm talking overseas, and if you're going to go chase these races overseas, Americans clearly didn't want to travel too much to Europe in this lead up to the Olympics. And I get it, because you have these trials to prepare for. You don't want to be traveling around. You don't want to be chasing races in random countries, all that sort of thing. But if you're going to a World Champs that's in September, and these races are happening earlier in the year in 2025, you're going to get more opportunity to try and accumulate these points and maybe get to that World Championship. So I feel like the Olympic year is always hard, because you're so mindful. Clearly in this country, like, I've got these trials coming up. I don't want to be flying anywhere. I don't want to be doing anything that I don't have to do. But maybe next year it frees up a little bit more. They'll be able to accumulate points. But you're right, Weini Kelati is the only one, again, who sits in this comfortable bracket now of going like, I'm still got a standard. Like, I'm still in for a World Champs next year.
One more other solution to this is, and kudos to James McCurdy from who sets up his own race in March of next year. I think he's already put out the date, but it's like World Athletics certified. You can also get the standard via a road race. And I don't think that there's enough American people who have capitalized upon that. Go to Valencia. Like,
Yeah.
that is one of the
Yeah.
races where like
Yeah.
that city, like the streets are trampolines.
Yeah.
And like everyone runs fast.
Makes driving tough.
Yeah, it makes driving really tough.
Yeah.
A lot
So,
of
like,
casualties.
I think, if you are serious about trying to make a national team in the 10K, you have to study up on the World Athletics calendar to take up those road 10K opportunities. Maybe run some Spanish cross country. This is how you sort of rack up the points and essentially hack the system.
Also, Japan is a country that puts on a lot of road racing. I know, and I'm speaking again from Australia, I don't know what the travel's like from here, but a lot of
It's a long way.
marathons, half marathons that then also drop down to 10K, 5K road racing. So there's opportunities to go and chase these points. I just think and clearly, like in this discussion, it's probably not talked about enough because usually you do have 1, 2, 3 that are qualified on a standard, and you don't have to worry so much about points. Probably, maybe, I can't speak on this, I haven't been at other trials, the first time now since this point system's been introduced that you're like, okay, there's another way that we need to start approaching these Olympic trials, because if I don't have the standard, or I don't think I'm going to get the standard, I need to go and accumulate points somewhere else across the world. And that's how a lot of athletes get in, and that's why these athletes are on the fringe rather than being so much further up this quota ranking. Because it's not on time, it's on points. So you could run slower times, but be in higher meets and get more points. So there's a science to it, there's a game to it.
And at the end of the day, it's like, does the common fan and even maybe the more uncommon fan suffer slightly? Yeah, but that's not our burden to bear. Let's get the best athletes there. And if it's a ranking system, for the celebration, I get it sucks to not be able to celebrate in the moment. But if this is getting the best athletes to where they need to be, I think it's okay if we bear that burden a little bit.
I mean, do we want a hot take? I think the Diamond League is eliminated the 10K. Yeah. And I don't know. Maybe I think we should just from the Olympic program. Would you trade in a 10K for a
really hot take? I wasn't ready
DMR?
for it.
Oh, for a DMR?
Yeah, I'd make that trade any day.
No, I wouldn't.
No?
No, I don't think so. I feel like there's enough relays we've got in there. We've got like 4x1s, 4x4s. They're staples. They're really entertaining. DMRs are entertaining. I get it, but also no one outside of America runs DMRs. You guys run them.
We want another gold medal.
Yeah, I know, but it's like no, you don't just chop out a 10K.
Yeah,
but
we want
it.
we want it.
You know what? What's that one thing that only we do? We want that. Let's put that.
We're
in
not
the
learning the metric system, and we want DMRs.
I would be more for swapping out a 10K for a half marathon.
Okay.
I think a half marathon at the Olympics would be very. To your point, you want to run the 10K on the
road
roads.
half.
There's about a half marathon
Are you on
out
my
there.
side now a little bit?
Well, I'm just saying, I'm pumping up your
She
point.
is,
I'm
she
saying,
is, yeah.
get out on the roads. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're going to swap it, half marathon would be pretty entertaining. You draw a really good mix of marathon down the half.
I mean, that race that we just saw was fantastic.
Yeah, I loved it.
I mean, it was a great race, incredibly exciting. It's just this, like, now, if they all had the standards, we wouldn't be saying, like, oh, we should get rid of the 10K.
Yeah, no.
It's now that it's like no one understands what's going on.
Yeah.
And we're like, we should just get rid of it, I guess.
Now that you're in the world athletic cycle and you're not in the American
Drop
1, 2, 3,
the 10, let's do DMRs.
you know what?
Yeah.
We'd qualify
Yeah.
in that. We'd have a big queue for that. Easy.
So that was the only distance race today at the track trials. It lived up to the confusion and chaos, and I liked it.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. I'm going to bring on Caitlin Hutchison now to help us make more sense of some of these sprint races, because while the 200s were going on, I was on my laptop standing desk crunching numbers.
You were heavy in the laptop.
I sacrificed watching Noah Lyles and Gabby Thomas. Oh, I saw Gabby Thomas win.
I try and catch him out of the corner. Like if I'm trying to go, oh yeah, what's going on over there? I try.
It's difficult.
It's hard to do.
Multitasking is tough.
No, it is tough.
All right. Thanks, Mitch. All right. I am alone on the set right now, and I think Caitlin will be coming up shortly.
She is.
Today, we had the semifinals of the women's 100-meter hurdles. We had the women's long jump final. Actually, Mitch, stay on, because you watched the women's long jump final pretty closely with me in the stands.
Oh yeah.
What's up, man?
The women's 200 final took place. The women's shot put. The women's 10,000. Oh, we talked about the 10,000 meters, and then we had the men's 200 meters. All right. Well, please welcome on Caitlin Hutchison, and Mitch is still staying on.
Hey,
Oh.
what's up, y'all? Are you ready to talk about track and field?
I love that.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What we talking about today?
The fuck?
Where do you want to start?
Hold on, man. Let's start with the.
Why don't you do that more often?
Huh? I can sing for real. I just don't be doing it for real.
I think you should be doing it for real.
Okay, I'm gonna sing for y'all tomorrow then. Okay, let's start with the 100 hurdles, cause listen.
Let's go chronological then, yeah.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so here's the thing. It's not that I am counting Nia and Kenny out, but I think in our list of top 3 possibilities, there is a possibility that our vets will not be on this team. Now, here's the thing. With Kenny
I raised
and
my
Nia,
eyebrows, yeah.
Yeah, with Kenny and Nia, though, like, no, the only reason why I'm saying that is simply because of, like, how well that Tonia, Masai, and Lay were racing through these first 2 rounds. Now, there's a possibility. It's like, okay, y'all ran this fast the first 2 rounds. Who knows what's going to happen in the final? Y'all didn't, burnt out, whatever, cool. Kenny and Nia get their spot. But it's also like they could all just run so fast that we might see something crazy like a 12-2-9 or a 12-2 something, like winning it. Because listen, you looking like I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. Cause listen. Okay, here's the thing. Lay's PR in the 100-meter hurdles is 12:31. Okay,
Yeah.
She ran very close to it twice. She's being very consistent, and we all know what happened when you're very consistent in your races. You're looking for something hot to pop out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I can see Lay dipping under her PR in this final. Same thing for Masai. Masai has been waiting for this to click for her all season. If y'all on her TikTok or whatever, she talked about it earlier this year with another professional athlete, but she was just saying, like, first year being pro is, like, very difficult. You're learning a lot of things. A lot of things are fresh. Some things aren't the same. And, like, even though she's literally training with the same coach, with the same training partners, there are certain things that are just not clicking for her. So for her to come out here and run 2 PRs for her as a pro, it's like, okay, what are you gonna run in the finals? Because she was saying last year in Budapest, when she didn't make the final, she's like, I'm just too fast right now. Like, I can't figure out, like, how to make this rhythm work for me.
Yeah.
Girl, it seemed like you're making the rhythm work. So, I mean, I don't know. And then Tonia has been slowly but surely just chipping away. I did not expect a 12-3 out of her, but clearly she expected it out of herself because she said, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to compete today. And listen, her and Lay had to fight for that. They literally ran the exact same thing. 3 women ran 12:36 the exact same time, which is why I'm like, there is a possibility out of, like, the top 3 or 4 possibilities of, like, our 2 favorites not being on the team. That's not what I'm wishing, but if it does happen, I don't think it's going to be a surprise.
Yeah, so Kenny Harrison, Nia Ali, both ranked in the top 6 in the world. If the team that you are pointing towards, Alicia Johnson, Tania Marshall, and Masai Russell, they're just outside, sort of 9, 15, and 17 in the world rankings. That's still a really good team. I mean, this is, again, one of the events that the United States has the most riches in historically.
And here's the thing, like, I don't know too much about, like, Tonia specifically, but I know about Lay and Masai. And those are some women that you are, like I said about Lay earlier this week, you gonna have to, like, drag them by their teeth, cut off their feet, rip their arms out their socket if you don't want them on a team or if you don't want them making a final. Damn near if you don't want them on a podium. Like, I don't know what it is about them 2 women specifically, but they have got the most absolute vicious dog, probably a rabid pit bull, sitting in the middle of their chest that's like, nah, bro, we not going outside. So it's like, even though they might be sitting at, like, top 20 in the rankings, those are some women that I can trust to go out to Paris and make something shake.
Yeah. All right, so that was the women's 100-meter hurdles.
Yeah.
I mean, the finale for this one is going to be
I'm scared. Chris,
nerve-wracking.
how many times do you see that many people running the exact same time?
Never.
No. And actually, you can even give Masai a little bit of extra kudos here because she had less wind.
She did. So it's like, what? I don't know.
What's she capable of, right?
She's capable of a lot of stuff, but then obviously so is Nia and so is Kenny. Like, them 2, I mean, listen, you can't count them 2 out either. So I don't know.
The patriot in me wants, us to come away with the gold medal in this for sure at the Olympics, but I also just keep coming back, looking just quickly at who has the world lead. 12:31 right now by Serena Samba Mayella from France. I mean, this is her breakout year, and it would be incredible for France to have a gold medalist because I think their medal chances are not all that high. Across a variety of different events, like Kevin Mayer, maybe in the decathlon, it hasn't looked all that great, but, like, he was one of their big hopefuls. She might be their best gold medal chance, and I just kind of want that for the stadium to be rocking.
Here's the thing, though, like, you still a patriot, though, because you still chose the country with the red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Babe, I'm going with the Bahamas, Devin Charlton all day long.
Really?
I am with the world record holder. Look, I obviously know, like, sometimes, like, the 60 hurdles don't translate to the 100 hurdles, but regardless, like, Devin is still popping something high. But like, I love Devin. I see Devin every single day. I see Devin and Masai every single day. So like, I really need the both of them on the podium if we being real.
Well, if I wanted to extend my red, white, and blue pride, then like I'll claim Jasmine Camacho Quinn because she's got those colors in the Puerto Rico flag.
Not that I forgot about her.
So if safe bet, just wear red, white, and blue to the night of the 100-meter final, and no one will be able to know who you're actually rooting for. You can root for any of those stars. All right. Let's shift gears over to the women's long jump competition, which was,
that was scary.
Man, stressful.
No. Tara, listen, Tara. Don't you ever do nothing like that again. If you ever give me a heart attack like that, I will come to your crib and I will personally have to fight you. You had me so scared. You scratched your first 2 jumps. I'm like, Tara, you got to jump something on the 3rd because you need 3 more. Okay? You know Tara meant business because she didn't ask for no claps.
That's what I was
there was
say.
no shenanigans. Baby said, everybody shut up. Yeah. I'm about to lock in. And then, obviously, she took the jump. She made it. Wasn't her best jump, but, like, it didn't need to be. No. We just needed you to be top 12 or a top 9, so that way you could get 3 extra jumps. And then, what did she do? She said, you know what, guys? I'm going to do something better than just make these last 3 jumps. I'm going to jump 7-0 in my last 3 jumps. Yeah. And she solidified her spot.
Yeah. This one, I turned to Mitch in the middle of the competition, and I was like, Tara really needs to come up clutch right now after the first 2 fouls because she's one of those athletes who, like, there's been so much marketing money and promotion for the Olympic Games, and then, like, all of that could come falling apart, but luckily she recovered in that 5th jump. I mean, in that 3rd, 4th, and 5th jump to seal her spot for the Olympics. And major kudos to Jasmine Moore, who just gave a great fight and was in the lead, up until that 5th jump by Tara.
Hey, look, I know we talking about Jazz, but like her man said it on the show today that she was making the team, so I ain't even surprised Jasmine on that team. Let's talk about Miss Monet Nichols.
Well,
okay?
We'll set it up first because Quanisha Burks jumps 6.80 and celebrates hard because that's her final jump. Like, she thinks I made the Olympic team with that jump. And then Monet Nichols.
Oh, look, Jasmine Warren, her man right there. Hey, Bookies. But yeah, continue to set up the story.
No, so yeah, Quanisha Burks jumps 6.80, thinks she's on the team essentially because like that was a clutch jump, and then Monet Nichols steps to the runway.
The best part about Monet Nichols is because this is her year. She ain't never made a major team until earlier this year when she made her first team, and she got her first medal, and it was silver in the long jump behind Miss Tara Davis. Then what did Monet do? Monet shaking in her boots a little bit. She like, look, I got one more jump. Don't got the Olympic standard right now, but I need to get myself to Paris. And then what did she do? I know Quanisha was celebrating, but Monet said, hold on, son. Hold my beer. Got up on that runway, jumped 686. And let me tell you, T was running around the content creator zone screaming. Listen, I already told Monet this in person, but I said, look, if there's ever a doubt about anybody, you can have them about every other person but T, because T loved her and T was riding for her. And because I think T said she even cried for Monet indoors when she realized that she made the team and was going to end up getting the medal and stuff like that. So Monet Nichols, don't sleep on her. Look,
25 years old.
25 years old, World Indoor Championships silver medalist. One major history thing on her World Athletics profile. Now, hopefully, she can get 2 and she makes it to the finals at the Olympics.
Yeah, and it's worth noting as well that 6.86 is the Olympic standard.
She literally
so she's jumped the standard like on that last jump. I got to talk to her in the mix zone, and I'm assuming you did too. She was like, I was asking her, I'm like, you're at the top of the runway. You're not on the Olympic team. You want to be on the Olympic team. The whole crowd stopped. Everyone stopped what they were doing, and they were watching. And you got to thank Tara for that, because she had the clap. You're right. She couldn't get through. She's like, everyone shut the fuck up. I need to get through. Got through. But the whole crowd was locked into this one event.
Yeah.
And to feel that pressure in an event that doesn't necessarily get the limelight it deserves, I was asking her, like, do you harness that? Do you block it out? What do you do? And she was like, you know what? I knew I was good enough to do this. So all I needed to do was get my foot on the board, and I knew I was going to clear it, and I knew I was going to get there. And I was like, you know what? That kind of you can't buy that kind of confidence. She backs herself in, and to that point, I was saying this to you. She was like, this event's got way more hype. Field events needs more attention. And I was like, well, what do you think about Grand Slam track then? Like, what would you have to say to MJ? She said, hey, this is entertaining. If you give us the right spotlight, you give us one event. I don't care if it's high jump, long jump, pole vault. Give us one jump, and this is entertaining. And they proved it because everyone locked in. Everyone locked in on that event. Everyone watched it.
I know.
Everyone.
I know MJ think we got little attention spans. I mean, yes, the world is full of goldfish. I understand, but as you learn through marketing, social media, and the stuff that we do. All you gotta do is shove something down somebody's throat. They're gonna watch it. They're gonna tune into it. So if you're telling me that the only choice I have is to watch Monet Nichols attempt to jump the Olympic standard and make the Olympic team on her last jump, baby, I'm locked in.
Yeah.
I don't even gotta know what's going on. I'm gonna just see if she do it. Everybody else start screaming. I'm gonna start screaming.
Yeah,
too.
well, that was the other thing because I'm pretty sure Lex Brown, the Baylor athlete, she was third
was up
into
in
the
there
last
too.
round.
She was
So
up
she
in
was
there
third,
too.
and then it went Burks, and then Nichols on the last. Like, it was just like,
It was scary.
bang, bang, and you're watching, you're like, what's happening next? And you're like, I don't think she'll get there. And then I also like the line in the sand because then you're like, oh shit, like, did she? I was locked in. I don't watch long jump that closely. I'm going to put my hand. I'm going to piss in any pockets and say that I'm a long jump aficionado. I'm not. Although, shout out Brooke Bushkull. I always watch her. But
Somebody loves the field events.
yeah, I agreed with her. I was like, I agree with you. You market it correctly. You're watching.
I told you.
I was watching.
I know that the
I loved
Loud
it.
House movie came out on June 21st because it's been shoved down my throat every time I watch the SpongeBob marathon. Do I want to watch the Loud House movie? No. But do I know when it came out? Yes, because I had no choice.
Yeah. It was a great interview. She was so pumped. She was so high. It was a great event. I loved it. It was awesome.
Let's shift gears over now to the women's 200 meters, where Gabby Thomas did her thing. 21.81
You were
for the
going
win.
nuts.
Brittany Brown clocks a personal best out of lane 8, was it? Or
Yes!
yeah, out of lane 8.
Or she was in 9.
No, I think she was.
No, she was in 8. She was in 8. She was in 8. She was in 8.
21.90, and then Mackenzie Long
No, I'm lying. She was in 9.
makes her first Olympic team 21.91 out of lane 7. So lanes 8, 9, and 7 make the games. Gabby Thomas, let's start with her. Just
I don't got nothing to say. We knew she was gonna do it. We knew she was gonna do it. Like,
Next question.
She ran an amazing race, but like I told y'all, Gabby Thomas had no choice but to make that team. She in too many Olympic commercials. She couldn't let the bag blow. Okay, so like Gabby, it was so amazing. I gave her my hug, kudos, and everything like that. But I'm more excited to talk about Gabby when we get to Paris because I want her and Sharika on the line, and I need one of them two to run a 21.4. I need it ASAP. That's what I need. That's it.
yeah, I mean, and there's a realistic possibility. Sharika Jackson is proving at the Jamaican Championships right now that she's rounding into form, and winning the 100 last night. I think the 200 for them might be tomorrow or something like that. We're doing like the proxy results watching right now to see like who was going to win this weekend.
There's a lot going on.
Kamal be keeping me up to date on Twitter. I promise.
21.81 for Gabby Thomas. Not as fast as the semi, but again,
Don't need to be.
It doesn't need to be. Took care of business, made the team. And then Brittany Brown, someone who has been just betting on herself just all year long. The Oslo thing where she got put in lane 9, and then now this time around getting put on another outside lane. Magic was bound to happen. She went all in on this event, paid off, clocks a personal best, runner-up at the U.S. Olympic trials, and now has a chance to add another global championship medal to her resume.
Bro, I've been telling y'all since 2019. You can't count out a girl who just loves to bet on herself. Because first of all, when she was out there in 2019, she was like, girl, I ain't got no sponsor. I ain't got nothing. I'm working 3 jobs. I'm a babysitter. I'm like, whoa, sweetheart, you're fast. We need to get you a contract. What's going on here? Makes it out there.
Quick.
She got a silver medal. In 2019, mind you, the Jamaicans and everybody else was still existing. She got a silver medal in 2019 against all the big names. Brittany Brown ain't no joke. Then cool. Finally gets her a sponsorship. She's with Adidas. Boom. Keeps making teams. Then last year, she's like, whoa. How cool would it be if I switched events? And we're sitting there looking at her like, Brittany, why are you not in the 200? She's like, well, like, I just want to try something different. She really actually explained it like it was more like doing with like injuries and like understanding like what her body could deal with in that time. So she's like, yeah, like I had to run the 100 to see like if I wanted the opportunity to make the team without injuring myself and like putting myself in more like health situations, the 100 was where I needed to show up.
Yep.
And she did that. She made the team. Everybody looking at everybody else. She's like, hello, I'll see y'all in Budapest. Ends up making the final.
Yeah.
Brittany Brown ain't no joke. Then she's like, cool, I'm ready for the 200 again. What's poppin', everybody? Runs
I'm
a PR.
back.
Oh, that'd be
2190. Mind you,
Pissed.
when she ran the season best earlier this week, she looked tired. I was like, Brittany, please don't scare me like that again. I was scared. I was like, do you got some more in you? She said, look, yes, I do. And then what she did, hey, look, she on that team. And then Mackenzie, I was breakdancing
was
from
impressive.
Mackenzie and
Breakdancing.
I was breakdancing for Mackenzie in the what you call it in the content
content
creator
lounge?
zone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
no,
content
I'm so
lounge.
serious. Like I'm so serious. I
You
was
can breakdance
breakdancing.
too?
No, but I was doing
But
it.
you were
anyway.
doing it, yeah,
I
you
was doing
said
it anyway.
shit, it
'cause
looked
who gonna
good,
stop
though.
me? Who
Yeah.
gonna come get me?
No one, no, clearly.
But yeah, no, I was like, I'm so proud of you. I love you. I don't even got nothing else to say to you because.
It's been an impressive run. Like most of the people would think that like the college kids are tired, and that was sort of the question mark around her. She ends up coming through clutch again. Like I think today was the day where a lot of people just come up clutch. She was one of them. Beats Sha'Carri Richardson, the World Championship bronze medalist in this event. So Sha'Carri finishes fourth. Tamara Clark, another person who was rounding into form at the right time, fifth. Heartbreak for Abby Steiner and Jenna Prandini as their 6-7. Like this race, like we talked about it all week long, that someone good was going to get left home. Sha'Carri Richardson's getting left off this team.
Yeah, I mean, like, shoot, man.
This is why the ultimate champs are coming along in 2026.
I don't even got nothing to say, man. Like, dang, like, I wanted Brittany and Mackenzie on that team, but, like, dang, I wanted Sha'Carri on the team, too. But somebody on Twitter was saying, like, look, it's okay. We divide and conquer. We got Gabby on the 2. We got Sha'Carri on the 1. And that's how we divide our forces to try to go get gold medals. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I won't be mad at the situation. Like I said, my 2 girls are on the team now, so it's all right.
The Pookies.
Also, this is the first time since 2004. I think that's what Kamal
Whoa.
said.
Yeah,
that
Kyle Merber said it too.
hello.
Oh.
This is the first time we didn't had all different women for the 1 and the 2. We got Mackenzie, Gabby, Brittany, Sha'Carri, TT, and Melissa. Ain't none of them the same person.
Not a bad team.
Unless it's some, birth
Pretty
certificates
good.
that we need to be checking out. But to my knowledge, them is not the same people.
Yeah.
No,
This is a good team.
I'm with you.
And I'm excited. I mean, I hope we put 3 in the final and then come away with a medal or 2.
I'm
Yes.
sure you guys are going to say they're sweeping, aren't they?
No.
No?
I'm not getting
Oh,
carried
okay.
away. The Jamaicans are coming along.
Caitlin's like, what?
No, don't do it.
See, this is
Well-
why I don't like talking, because every time when I want to say something, y'all be getting mad at me.
I'm saying say it.
I don't want to say nothing
Say it.
no
Come
more.
on
I'm
now.
not
Come on,
talking.
come on,
No,
come on.
I'm
That's not
saying
you.
that.
That's
We
not you.
We
Don't-
going to the next
that's not
event,
you.
because y'all keep making fun of me. I don't like that.
All right.
I wanna
Women's
hear it.
400-meter hurdles. No big shocks here. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone just takes back the world lead from Femke Bold. They've
Oh
been
my
trading
God.
this thing like a hot potato. 52.48. Anna Cockrell, very impressive. 52.95 for a personal best. She looked great.
She look good too. And then Shamir, told y'all, them 400s. I don't know what the hell they be doing in Arkansas. But Chris #1, wait, Mr. Johnson #1 and Mr. Johnson #2, I don't know what they cooking, but they cooking something. And look, if it's got Shamir and Anna on that team, I'm just saying, that's what Mr. Johnson #1 and #2 be doing.
Yeah. From this one, the other takeaway I have from this is that Jalila Muhammad is turning this season around right now. 54.16 was a
She trying.
season's best. Has she afforded herself enough time is the big question, right? Like, there's only, tomorrow? Like, can she find the form between tonight and tomorrow to put together a top 3 finish. It's going to be very hard to crack Sydney McLaughlin-Laveroni, Shamir Little, Anna Cockrell, and then even just sort of Rachel Glenn, Jasmine Jones. They're also very good right now.
And Jasmine Jones had on a new uniform today.
Yeah, so she turned
Oh,
pro,
yeah, I
signed
saw
with
people
Adidas.
asking that.
Yeah. All right, that was the women's 400-meter hurdles. And then the day closed out with the men's 200. So I'm looking at this where it's Noah Lyles, world lead, meet record, 19.53. I was saying 19.4. 19.53, just heck of a run. But Kenny Bednarek, 19.59 for a personal best, gave him a run for his money.
I told y'all earlier today, Kenny is not a man to be messed with. If y'all go watch the interview that I did with him on Twitter, if y'all still like me on there, like he's really hilarious. Like Kenny is so funny. Like if you watch the interview that I had with him, like I have never seen that man laugh that much and have that much fun, because y'all know when y'all see him, he be, my name is Kenny Bednarek and I can run very fast and I like Naruto. I'm talking to him. He's like, yeah, bro, like, you want me to pull out something in Paris? Hell yeah, buddy, let's do that. Like, and okay, so on the topic that we was talking about, when we said, look, I asked him, I said, Kenny, what we got to do to make you more famous? We need you in a Skims commercial or something.
Yeah,
like,
something.
What's going on? He said, you know what? I be seeing it, like, y'all just want me to talk shit, don't you? And I said, I mean, that's
You got this
not
on camera?
Yes.
Oh.
I told you, they don't watch my interviews no more, so they don't be
no,
knowing.
you don't do it.
I just got back from the
No,
track. I haven't watched
Chris don't
it.
watch my
Chris,
interviews no more.
you don't watch them
Like,
anymore.
It's so crazy. But no, he really said it on camera. He said, y'all want me to talk shit? He said, look, I got you. He said, don't worry about it. Just
Oh, he's
wait.
ready to talk shit.
Oh, I'm so serious. He said, I'm ready. You want it? I got you. He said, because y'all don't know, I could get spicy. I just don't be doing it for real. And I'm saying, oh, so you like that? Just know, when Kenny decides to start opening his mouth ahead of Paris and into Paris, y'all can't say that we didn't change that man's life.
Yeah, but when is he gonna do it? Like, I guess he's
No,
coming.
he said
He's coming on the show tomorrow, apparently.
Yes, okay,
That's-
but he got team processing, so
So
he
we'll
gonna
see.
he gonna show up when he show up.
All right,
Yeah.
but here's the thing: why didn't he just say it today?
He said it on the interview.
But I'm saying it's like what he said he's gonna say something. Just say it.
I mean, look. Okay,
Hey, step
look,
by
you can't-
step.
No,
Step
right,
by step.
Here's my problem with it. It's like you can't just say I'm gonna say something and then don't say it. Like,
Maybe he's been waiting-
Okay, you're gonna say something in between now and Paris. There's no bigger
of all,
opportunity with the
no.
media and stuff here at the
He
trial.
said it on the camera, though. You can't please.
No,
No,
Chris wants him to go
he said-
rather than
Chris
saying.
is not
rather,
a Kenny fan.
He's saying no.
I'm
He
not
said
not a
saying
Kenny
that.
fan.
I'm
Rather
not
than Kenny saying,
I
"I'll
want-
talk,"
I
he
want
wants
to be
him
a
to just
bigger Kenny fan. Is
Boom.
my thing. I said my whole thing is if he's gonna
I
say
like you,
something,
Kenny.
say it now. Even
Yeah.
though he lost today, like this is a good challenge for Noah. Like I don't think Noah could have did not relax in this race like he usually does.
Kenny was leading with 50 to go, so Noah clearly had to work. His back end speed is amazing, but I mean, I think we let Kenny get there at Kenny's pace. You know, what if he comes
that's what
out
I'm
now and everyone's
saying.
giving him their grace, and they're like, "Oh, Kenny, in your own time," and then because he got given his own time, he just comes out and goes, bang, and just fucking fires
Guns
off.
Here's the thing.
He might.
Like, before this, like, I guarantee you,
He
any
might.
interview that you've ever watched with him, he has never had an interview like one that he's had with me. Like, I promise you, that boy was.
Best ever. I'm
I'm
with
not,
you.
like, I'm not even
with.
trying to gas myself.
No,
up. Like,
I
I'm
believe
so
you.
serious.
I
Like,
believe you.
He was a completely different person.
So
and
what do you think he's going to have to say? What do you think he comes out with?
He's gonna say, Noah, I'm gonna beat you or something. Like
That's
I
not
don't
strong
know.
enough.
I don't know. You literally said what are you talking about?
Listen,
You literally said last night that would be fine. Like
no, I want more than that. And let's,
what do you want him to say? Like,
Chris crunched a lot of
you're
numbers
ugly,
today,
like,
all right?
you wanna call him,
No,
like-
I just think like there could be more, but I think at the end of the day, Noah Lyles had the upper hand today, and it kind of like I'm more amped for the 100 than I am the 200, and like there's gonna some more things need to happen, I guess, to prove to me that this one's gonna be more of a race comparison, even though today was close.
Kenny also ran a PR.
He ran 2 this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
19.59. That is flying.
Let's give Erriyon Knighton some props here. 1977 to make the Olympic
That's
team
my little
again.
cousin.
His second Olympic team at 19 or 20 years old. What is he now?
is 20.
Yeah.
He's
So
a child.
His back end was impressive, but his start was awful.
No, he's scaring me because I'm watching him race. I'm like, first of all, I know you're not about to let Christian come and beat you.
Well, man, his start was not good.
I know, and then Christian was frying that boy.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa. Listen, I won't be mad if Christian makes the team, but I have my top 3, and I would like to be right, okay? So then, Arion, he getting smoked for like a hot minute. It's like he started finding his rhythm, and then Christian started like getting at him again. And I think Arion, it was like, oh shit, like I gotta go, because if I don't, like I'm really gonna be sitting at home, and I can't have that happen. So he gave it to Christian. Christian ends up running like literally the exact same time that he ran yesterday, which is not bad.
That was his equal lifetime best, no?
No, his lifetime best is like 1985, so he ran 1989.
So close.
Very, very close though.
Yeah.
So Arion is on the team. Yeah, he did. He scared me though. 1977 ain't slowed up.
It was kind of funny watching him come through the mix zone because he didn't have his manager with him this time for the first time. So he was walking through with the team processing lady, and one of the journos goes, "Hey, Arion, can we get a second?" She goes, "No, I don't think so." And then he just turned around and went, "Okay." Then walked around, and everyone was like, "Whoa!" And they come barging through.
Yeah.
And naturally, the first thing is like, "How have you dealt with all of this, given everything that's been happening?"
Like 30 seconds. I was surprised.
He was quick. I got him for a minute, and then another. I can't remember, the guy from Let's Run got him really good, and he sucked him back in for another probably 2 minutes. So I don't know whether they used up all his energy by the time he got to the content.
I was so confused because usually like Ramon don't play that. He'd be like, "Hey, look, man. That's my little son. Y'all not about to be talking to him like that and asking him stuff he don't want to be asked."
Yep.
But Ramon and his coach was nowhere to be found. I'm like, is this an unsupervised child that we have?
He was just walking through, and then I think like I said, too scared to ask him. So took one guy, and he was like, "Can we chat?" And then he's like, "Yeah, all right, why not?" I kind of like the fact that he did chat, right? Because I feel like that signifies that he kept saying all the way through the rounds, he's like, "I'll talk to you after the final. I'll talk to you after the final." So I think if he weren't to talk, people would probably be like, "That's a bit weird." Like that he's not talking. He's made the team. He probably wanted to win. That's fine. But yeah, he just manned up and was like, "All right, cool. Yeah, I'll chat. What do you want to know?"
Yeah. So I feel good about this team, and I feel good about the fact that like Arion, this was his season opening meet, and like
you
now,
running 19-7 at your season opener.
I know it's impressive. And then
crazy.
Next thing is he affords himself. I keep coming back to this point. I keep bringing it up. You get extra weeks to bank more fitness before Paris, and that's only going to suit him even more. And now this is an event that I do foresee the possibility of a sweep. I mean, Lasila Tabogo hasn't raced, I think, since May, or he got disqualified at the African Games Championship. We don't even count that meet.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
The video clip speaks for itself that we had from earlier in the day.
You're not gonna be popular in Africa.
Yeah. So, all right. I think
I love Tobago.
Did you
I kind of hope he wins.
Did you talk about the BYU kid?
We didn't.
Call.
Like,
What
how I'm the sprints person? Y'all didn't talk
How do we
about
not
the
talk
man of the
about that?
hour.
Yeah.
Hey, that is really
because you got you
were yelling it out.
Twitter, and then you were like alerting the whole stadium.
Yeah.
Because Jam tweeted and I said, "Whoa, what you mean you had like a 15-second PR?" I ain't gonna lie. If you listen, I don't know his first name. What's
James
his first
Corrigan.
name? Hey James,
Jimmy.
I'm not gonna hold you. It's not
Get
that
him.
I was trying to like not have faith in you, but I ain't think you was gonna drop that time. I'm not gonna hold you.
It is
Then
very impressive.
Not to mention, he ran faster than the guy. How you run faster than the dudes who beat you? First, listen, it don't matter. You going to Paris. I'm proud of you, but man, to go from one side of the country to the other side of the country, then you've like fully recruited like your teammate, the first place finisher. Dang, what's his name?
Kenneth Rooks.
You recruited.
Wait, he didn't run.
Rooks didn't run.
What?
I think he just went on the jet.
Who paced him?
He had
what's his name?
New Balance guy,
McCulloch? No. Dan Mihalski. Yeah,
There we go.
Oh, he fast?
He's quick. He's always been a contender to make the U.S. team, but like he had to hold the pace for about 3K or something like that.
Oh my God!
No, 2K.
2K.
Yeah,
Sorry.
2K.
So look,
He went through 6:30, so he closed quicker
Yeah.
than the clip. Yeah.
First of all,
impressive.
I don't know. Listen, James, I'm proud of you. Like I said, I didn't have the faith before, but this is the day that I stopped doubting you. I am proud.
You picked a good day.
I am officially
picked a really good day.
cheerleader. Go, James.
Go, Jimmy. How about Jimmy? I mean, that is understated how much pressure that is, right? He had 1 day to get, like, it closes tomorrow.
Yeah.
So this was it.
This
if he
is
didn't
it.
get it here, you can't find another steeplechase. Like,
Hey,
this is
look.
it. To clip through 6:30, easy to fall off that, but I don't know if you watched that last lap, but he just dug in, and I was like, holy shit.
And then he didn't even leave it. He didn't leave it up to chance for the
Oh,
rankings
God, no.
either. Like they, I think someone last minute threw in a bunch of prize money into to elevate
So
the
he
gold
got
label
some
status.
money?
Well, so yeah, here's how crazy this got,
Yeah.
Caitlin. I guess since the last time we talked about this race, and for people who maybe weren't following it online. So a race was set up in Pennsylvania so that he could run, and this was just like an all-comers meet, like literally the type of meet that like Mitch and I would probably enter to run 5 minutes for the mile.
You're 30 under 30?
4:30.
And then-
whatever.
If you pour enough prize money into it, then you can elevate it to like a continental tour
Yes.
status. Yeah, like you can
Because
actually do this.
there's levels to these,
and you can
So you just telling me I gotta have some money?
yeah,
essentially. So what happened was
you can do anything.
the facility is incredible, Franklin Field. So like, check that box. Then on top of that, now you add the prize money. You raise the label status. Now James Corrigan only had to run under 8:20, I think, to make the team. So not even run the standard because his ranking would have improved enough. So that goes to show you sometimes, like, if you add a little bit of money, you can make the sport a little bit easier for yourself.
So he got a private jet, a pacer.
Well, we don't know
and
about it
some
was a
money.
private jet.
I reckon we run with
Oh.
it. I think you got a private jet. Yeah, he had a private jet.
First of all, do I need to transfer
Yeah.
it to be?
Yeah,
Why
private
do you,
jet.
Like,
I'm thinking about it. I've got a couple of years left. I got booted out early, so I might have a couple of years
I
eligibility.
ain't got a couple years left, but I'll change my birth certificate.
All
It's-
right.
But on that point, though, he would not have wanted to leave it to
The ranking system.
No. Like we just spoke about it at length for 20 minutes what Parker and these women are dealing with. I don't think James would have wanted to leave anything to chance. So hats off to him. Sad for Evan Jager. Obviously, it would have been great to see him make another team should he have got there. But big props to James. He came out of the absolute woodworks in the trials. He needed the time. Someone fronted the money, and he gets to live out his Olympic dream. So hats off to America, to be honest, to be in a situation where you can put things on like that, because that does not happen in many other places around the world. So kudos to the Americans. Kudos to everybody that paced James. And Jimmy, mate, we'll see you for a couple of baguettes in Paris. It's very exciting for him. Good to see.
Quick throws and field event recap because
was sick, too.
Yeah.
Paul Hoff-Mahoney is at a wedding today and won't be
I
able
wasn't
to
invited.
give us a breakdown. Men's
Yeah.
discus throw. This one was actually
was I.
very thrilling. Andrew Evans, who's unattached, goes 66-61 to win the competition. Sam Mattis, who doesn't have the Olympic standard but should get in on ranking, 66-07 for second. Joseph Brown had the Olympic standard, 65-79, ends up on the Olympic team, making it on his final throw of the day.
I know. The funniest part about watching Andrew, though, is that every time he threw a throw, this is literally his face. It was like there was no reaction. There was no like, yeah, like I did good, or like, like let me lock in. It was just like the most nonchalant thing ever, as if like he just knew that every throw that he threw, like it was like I'm getting on the team.
Yeah.
The first time I saw him make an emotion is when I saw him in the content lounge, and I said, "Congratulations," and he was like, "Thanks."
Oh.
Very interesting guy.
Women's shot put, Chase Jackson for the win, 20.10. Raven Saunders in her comeback makes her
Third.
third
She was in
Olympic
Rio.
team.
Oh,
Wow.
she's a
Rio.
mad dog. I
On
like
her
her.
final throw of the day.
She's a mad dog.
And here's the thing, no.
Oh, she made it on her first one.
She made it on her first throw, actually. Like, nobody touched her on her first
She's
throw.
cool.
It was Chase who, like, really made the comeback because, like, Raven was the only person who was putting something out there that was that close to 20, at least that early. I talked to Chase. I was like, I don't know, you kind of scared us a little bit. Like, you was missing throws, throwing 18. Like, what's up with you? She's like, girl, she's like, I'm good now. I had to lock in, and I threw the best throw that I could. And, you know, obviously, it was great. Got my first, I don't know, I guess first title of the day.
Yeah.
Her only and first title of the day. But she said she's been a U.S. champ like 7 times. But look, this is for my Naruto fans.
Oh.
If y'all watch Chase during her intro, okay, first of all, she had the village leaf headband around her neck. She said she didn't want to put it on her forehead because she didn't want to get her makeup messed up. Then, y'all know Chunin exams, my favorite arc in Naruto, okay? Look, y'all remember the fight against Gara and Rock Lee? Y'all know when Rock Lee dropped them weights off and he gave Gara that work? Look. Chase got me hot. Chase got me so hot because she dropped them weights and she went to work, okay? I said, look, you got to give us something else in Paris because the weights was cool. I know y'all don't know what the hell we talking about.
No, I'm with you.
But look. Just know, like, go watch, just search Rock Lee Gara fights.
Rock Lee Gara fights.
It's like 3 minutes on YouTube.
Oh, I watched
it. It
shit
will
out of
change
it.
your life, okay? I said, Chase, that was top tier A1 intro. What are you giving us in Paris? She said she don't know. I said, well, babe, it needs to be One Piece related because she has got this fire Luffy tattoo all up and down her arm.
Oh, yeah.
And then she's got a Hizuka tattoo. I don't like Hizuka. I think he's a little creep. I also didn't finish watching Hunter x Hunter, so that's none of my business.
Yeah.
But regardless, Chase Ely went out in style. So proud of her. And then especially proud of Raven Saunders because this is her third Olympic team. And
Sat out a whole year.
Sat out a whole year. Then, let's talk about it, y'all. Out of the Blocks plug, Jasmine Todd did do a whole interview with her. So if you want some more extensive details behind what she's been going through on top of having to sit out a year, losing coaches, getting kicked out of gyms, not throwing well, like literally any and everything that you can think of was happening to Raven Saunders all the time. At any time, like that girl got she could not sleep, she could not rest.
Wow.
But at the beginning of the year, when she was allowed to compete again, she said, look, this is my last year doing track and field. I don't care what y'all have to say. I am making this Olympic team. She did it.
That's boss.
She did it.
What a
She did
legend.
All right. I think that's it for today. Tomorrow is the final day
Yes.
of competition here at the U.S. Olympic Trials.
Woo!
And it is a loaded slate starting at 2:50 p.m. We've got the men's hammer throw, the women's pole vault, the men's high jump, the men's triple jump, the women's javelin throw, the men's 5,000 meters, where we're going to see Cole Hawker versus Grant Fisher. Men's 800. What will Hobbs Kessler do against Bryce
142.
Hoffel? And can Shane Cohen work his magic one more time to land on an Olympic team? The women's 100-meter hurdles, where it might take sub 12:35 to make the team.
I want to say the winner gonna run 12-2.
All right, you heard it from Caitlin. Then we've got the women's 1,500 meters, where this is, I think, the race to watch tomorrow. We're on world record watch in the men's 400-meter hurdles with Rai Benjamin. And you know what? We're also on world record watch for the women's 400-meter hurdles with Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, because why not? So I think those are excellent ways to close out what has been an epic 2 weeks of track and field.
Amazing.
10 days of track and field here at the U.S. Olympic Trials. So I'm stoked for it. Tomorrow, we've got a loaded slate of programming. The finale of Good Morning Track and Field with Karen, Eric, and Mitch.
Yes.
8:30 a.m. Pacific time.
Yep.
And
Heat's
then after
happening.
that, I'm not going to say who's coming on our show tomorrow
Oh.
because we've got, rumors of
It's
some
big.
names coming through.
I know, guys. I'm gonna be on the show. So
It's Mac.
So you get ready. I'm gonna be cute.
And so keep a close lookout for the guest graphic that we've been putting up, because tomorrow I'm very, very excited for. And then after that, one last episode of Trials Talk as we process everything that's going to happen in the final day of competition. So that does it for day 9.
Day 9.
I've been Chris Chavez with Caitlin Hutchison, Mitch Dyer, Karen Lesowitz, Eric Jenkins, Mac Fleet behind the camera.
Mac is the GOAT of this show.
Yeah, without him, he's the glue guy. All right, that does it. Good
He's
night,
the glue
everybody.
guy. Good night.